There is a quiet kind of love, a love that does not hold tightly, does not control, does not demand to be obeyed. It allows, it trusts, it lets life unfold. Welcome to Whispers of Moonlight, a space for meditation and mindfulness. Here, we gently return to the present moment, soften the body, calm the mind, and slowly see something deeper. That holding on creates tension, that everything changes, and that peace begins when we stop resisting what is already here. And maybe today, we begin to touch that kind of love. Right now, as you listen, can you gently notice where in your life are you still holding on too tightly? In this practice, you will learn to rest, to breathe, to release, and to trust the natural flow of life without forcing, without clinging. And as we continue, just allow yourself to arrive, fully, softly, here. If this space feels supportive, subscribe to Whispers of Moonlight and share a quiet connection by commenting the time and place you are listening from. Wherever you are, in this moment, we are here together. Gently allow your body to settle. Let the weight of your back sink into the surface beneath you. Feel the points of contact, simple, quiet, steady. Your heels resting, your calves softening, your hips releasing into the ground, your shoulders gently dropping without effort. There is nothing you need to hold up, nothing you need to carry right now. Let your arms rest by your sides. Let your hands open naturally. No need to close, no need to grasp. Feel the subtle space between each finger. Feel the quiet life in your palms. Allow your jaw to soften, your tongue to rest, your forehead to smooth out slowly, naturally. As the body softens, the mind does not need to rush anymore. There is nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, no version of yourself to become in this moment. Just this body, resting, breathing, being. Gently bring your awareness to the breath. Do not change it. Do not guide it. Simply notice. The breath comes in. The body receives. The breath goes out. The body releases. Feel the rise of the belly, soft, unforced. Feel the fall, quiet, natural. Breathing in, there is a gentle expansion. Breathing out, there is a quiet return. Let the breath move like a wave, arriving, receding, without effort. You do not create the breath. You do not control it. It is happening, just like life. Notice how each breath is slightly different. No breath repeats itself exactly. This breath is new. This moment is new. And as you see this, you begin to sense a simple truth. Everything changes. The body changes. The breath changes. The sensations rise and fade. Nothing stays the same. And when nothing stays, there is nothing to hold tightly. Let this understanding be soft, not something to think about, just something to feel. As you continue to rest, scan gently through your body. Notice if there is any area still holding tension. Perhaps the shoulders. Perhaps the chest. Perhaps the stomach. Do not try to fix it. Do not push it away. Just notice. And with the next exhale, allow a small release, not forced, not dramatic, just a quiet softening, like ice melting under sunlight, like a knot loosening on its own. Breathing in, aware. Breathing out, letting go. If the mind begins to wander, that is okay. Thoughts may appear, images may come and go. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to stop them. Just notice and gently return to the body. Return to the breath. This is mindfulness. Not control, not suppression, just knowing what is here and allowing it to be. Thoughts are like clouds. They form, they move, they dissolve. They are not you. Emotions may arise, a feeling of tightness, a memory, a subtle unease. Let them come. Let them be felt, without naming, without judging. And notice, they also change. They do not stay forever. What changes is not solid. What is not solid cannot truly be held. Let this be seen gently. There is no need to push anything away. No need to cling to anything pleasant. Holding creates tension. Resisting creates struggle. And this is where suffering begins. But right now, you are learning something different. You are learning to rest with what is. To allow experience to rise and fall. To trust the natural movement of life. Feel again the body on the ground, supported, held, without effort. The earth does not ask you to be different. It does not judge how you feel. It simply supports. And you can begin to support yourself in the same way. By allowing, by softening, by not interfering. As you breathe, notice how the body breathes itself. Notice how awareness is already here. You do not need to create awareness. You only need to recognize it. Awareness is like space. Open, unfixed, unaffected. Sensations appear within it. Thoughts appear within it. Feelings appear within it. And then they pass. But awareness remains. Quiet. Steady. Unchanging. Rest here for a moment. not as someone trying to meditate, not as someone trying to improve, just as awareness, knowing what is happening, without holding, without pushing. There is no solid center here, no fixed self that must control everything, only changing experiences, moving through open space. And as you begin to sense this, something softens even deeper. The need to manage everything begins to fade. The need to hold everything together begins to loosen. You are not separate from this flow. You are part of it. Breathing, changing, unfolding, just like everything else. So, for these moments, allow yourself to rest fully. Let the body be as it is. Let the breath be as it is. Let the mind be as it is. Nothing needs to be different. And in this simple allowing, there is already a quiet peace. Gently bring your attention to the breath, not to change it, not to guide it, just to notice. As the breath comes in, feel the belly rise, softly, naturally. As the breath goes out, feel the belly fall, without effort. Let this movement be simple. Let it be quiet. Let it be enough. Breathing in, the body receives. Breathing out, the body releases. There is no need to breathe in a special way. No need to make it deeper or slower. The breath knows what to do. You are only here to know that it is happening. Feel the gentle expansion. Feel the gentle return. Again and again, like a tide moving in and out, like waves touching the shore and dissolving. Nothing forced, nothing held. Just a continuous flow. Stay with this movement If the mind wanders, that is okay. If thoughts arise, that is natural. Just notice and gently come back to the breath. Back to this rise. Back to this fall. Each return is enough. Each moment of noticing is already awareness. As you stay with the breath, begin to sense how everything else fades into the background. The past is not here in this breath. The future is not here in this breath. Only this movement. Only this moment. Breathing in, there is no yesterday. Breathing out, there is no tomorrow. Just now, just this. And in this simple presence, something begins to quiet down. The mind does not need to travel anymore. It does not need to revisit what has already passed. It does not need to imagine what has not yet come. It can rest right here. Notice how the body responds. When the mind stops moving through time, the body softens even more. The breath becomes more easeful. The chest opens. The face relaxes. There is less pressure, less urgency. This is the beginning of letting go. Not by effort, not by force, but by returning to what is already here. Stay with the breath, breathing in, aware of the rising. Breathing out, aware of the falling. Simple, clear, nothing extra is needed. You may begin to notice small details, the coolness of the air as it enters, the warmth as it leaves, the subtle pause between the in-breath and the out-breath, a quiet gap, a moment of stillness. Rest there, gently, not holding the pause, just noticing it. Even the pause changes. Nothing stays fixed. Each breath is new. Each cycle is different. And as you see this, you begin to understand something deeper. Life is like this breath. It comes, it goes. It cannot be held. It cannot be repeated. Trying to hold it creates tension. Trying to control it creates struggle. And this is how suffering quietly forms. But when you allow the breath to be just as it is, there is ease, there is space, there is a gentle freedom. Breathing in, nothing is missing. Breathing out, nothing needs to be added. Just this unfolding, moment by moment. As you continue, notice if there is any subtle effort in the mind, a small attempt to do this correctly, a quiet desire to reach a certain state. Gently let that go. This is not about achieving. This is not about becoming calm. This is about seeing clearly, seeing the breath as it is, seeing the mind as it is, without interference, without judgment. This is mindfulness, a simple knowing, nothing more, nothing less. Stay with the breath. If the mind drifts into a thought, notice it kindly and return. Return again and again. Each return is not a mistake. It is the path itself, like placing a feather back onto the surface of water. Soft, effortless, no struggle, just returning. And as this continues, you may begin to feel a quiet stability, not rigid, not fixed, but steady, like sitting by a river, watching the water pass. You do not need to stop the river. You do not need to follow every current. You simply sit and you see. In the same way, you are here with the breath. The breath flows, the mind moves, and you remain as the one who knows. No need to become anything, just this awareness, open, spacious, present. And in this presence, time begins to loosen its hold. The weight of the past softens. The pull of the future fades. There is only this living moment, alive, changing, unfolding. Breathing in, arriving. Breathing out, letting go. Over and over. And with each gentle breath, the heart becomes lighter. The mind becomes quieter. Suffering begins to ease. Not because it is pushed away, but because the mind is no longer feeding it, no longer chasing time, no longer holding what cannot be held. just resting here with the breath, with life as it is. Gently begin to scan through the body, not to fix, not to change, just to notice. Start with the feet. Feel the toes, the soles, the heels. Notice any tightness, any holding. There is no need to push it away. Just recognize it. Move slowly up to the calves. Feel the muscles, the weight, the contact with the ground. If there is tension, simply know that it is there. Awareness itself begins to soften it. Continue to the knees, the thighs. Let your attention rest there for a few breaths. Breathing in, feeling. Breathing out, softening. No force, no pressure. Just a quiet invitation to release. Move to the hips, a place that often holds without being noticed. Feel the depth of the body here, the weight, the stillness. If there is tightness, allow it to be seen, like ice meeting warmth. No need to break it. It melts on its own. Let your awareness be like sunlight, gentle, patient, non-demanding. Now bring your attention to the abdomen, the area that rises and falls with each breath. Notice if there is any subtle holding, a quiet bracing, a need to control. As you breathe out, let the belly soften. Let it fall freely. There is nothing to protect in this moment. Nothing is required of you. Move to the chest. Feel the space around the heart. Is it open or slightly closed? Do not judge. Do not label. Just feel. Breathing in, a gentle expansion. Breathing out, a deeper release, as if space is being created from within. Let the chest be soft. Let the heart rest. There is no need to carry everything here. Now bring awareness to the shoulders, a place that often holds invisible weight. Feel if they are lifted, even slightly. Feel if they are carrying something unspoken. And with the next exhale, let them drop, just a little. Let gravity do the work. You do not need to hold yourself up. Move down through the arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, all the way to the hands. Feel the fingers. Notice if they are curled, holding, gripping. Gently allow them to open. Nothing to hold, nothing to grasp, just resting. Now bring your attention to the neck, the throat, a place where words, emotions, and tension often gather. Feel the space here. Soft, open. Let the breath move freely through this area. No resistance, no tightening. Now the face, the jaw. Unclench it gently. The lips, let them rest naturally. The cheeks, soften them. The eyes, let them sink back into their sockets. No need to look. No need to focus. The forehead, smooth it out, as if a gentle breeze is passing over it. Let the entire face be at ease. Now sense the whole body together, from head to toe. One continuous field of sensation, alive, changing, breathing. Notice if there is still any place holding on, any place resisting. Do not try to remove it, just bring awareness there. And breathe. Breathing in, knowing. Breathing out, softening. Like water flowing over a stone. Not forcing it to move, just gently shaping it over time. Let your awareness be like that water. Steady, soft, persistent. Tension may not disappear immediately. That is okay. It is not a problem to solve. It is simply something to be seen. And in being seen, it begins to change. This is the nature of all things. Nothing remains the same. Even tension is not permanent. It arises, it stays for a while, and it fades. When you do not fight it, it has space to dissolve. Holding creates contraction, a narrowing, a tightening. But letting go is like opening a window. Air moves again. Light enters. The body remembers its natural balance. Notice this balance now. Not perfect, not fixed, but alive. Always adjusting, always responding. You do not need to control this process. You only need to stop interfering. As you rest here, feel how the body is slowly reorganizing itself, tension releasing in small ways, softening, spreading quietly. This is not something you make happen. It happens when you allow. Stay with this allowing. Let each exhale carry a little more weight away. Let each inhale bring a sense of space. Even if the change is subtle, it is enough. There is no final state to reach, no perfect relaxation to achieve. Only this moment, unfolding as it is. And you, present with it, aware, gentle, uninvolved. In this way, the body becomes lighter, the mind becomes quieter, and something deeper begins to settle. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped holding. Holding on creates tension. Letting go restores balance. Let this understanding sink in, not as an idea, but as a direct experience, right here in your body, right now, in this breath. Gently begin to notice a deeper layer. Not in the body now, but in the way the mind relates to life. There is a subtle habit, a quiet tendency to hold on. We hold people, we hold expectations, we hold images of how life should be. Not always with awareness, often very softly, almost invisibly, like a hand closing without noticing. Bring this into your awareness now, not as an idea, but as a feeling. Where in your life is there a sense of holding? It may not feel like tension at first. It may feel like care, like protection, like love. But look closely. Is there a need for things to stay a certain way? A quiet wish for someone to remain the same? A hope that a moment will not pass? Just notice. No judgment. No need to change anything. Just seeing clearly. Holding often comes with a feeling of tightness, a subtle contraction inside, as if something is being kept in place. And with that holding, there is something else. A quiet fear. Fear that it might change. Fear that it might leave. Fear that it might not be the way we want. Holding and fear move together. The more tightly we hold, the more we feel we can lose. And the more we feel we can lose, the more the heart becomes uneasy. This unease is subtle, but it is always there, even in moments of happiness. Because when something feels good, the mind wants it to stay. And in that wanting, there is already tension. Pause here for a moment. Feel this directly. Holding something pleasant already carries the seed of worry. And when worry is present, peace is no longer complete. This is how suffering quietly begins. Not from what is happening, but from how we relate to what is happening. Holding creates a sense of ownership. This is mine. This should stay. But look deeper. Can anything truly be owned? Can any moment be kept? Everything is moving. Everything is changing. Nothing remains still. Everything changes. No moment stays. No person stays the same. Let these words land softly, not as philosophy, but as something you can feel. The breath changes. The body changes. Thoughts come and go. Even emotions, no matter how strong, shift and dissolve. The person you were yesterday is not exactly the same today. The person you meet tomorrow will not be exactly who they are now. This is the nature of life, flowing, shifting, unfixed. And yet, the mind tries to hold it still, to freeze what cannot be frozen, like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. Feel this image, not with the mind, but with the body. A hand tightening, water escaping. And with that effort, there is tension. Now imagine something different. The hand opens. Water is still there, moving, alive, but no longer forced, no longer trapped. This is the difference between holding and allowing. Holding says, stay. Allowing says, be. Holding creates fear. Allowing creates space. Holding creates suffering. Allowing reveals peace. Notice how this feels in the body. When you imagine holding tightly, there is contraction. When you imagine letting go, there is ease. This is not something you need to believe. It is something you can sense directly, right now. Bring to mind something you care about, a situation, a person, an outcome. Notice if there is a subtle holding there, a wish for it to be a certain way. Just observe. And then, without forcing, allow a small softening. Not giving up, not losing interest, just loosening the grip. Let it be as it is for this moment. feel what happens inside. Often there is a quiet relief, a gentle release of pressure. This is the beginning of freedom. Not by changing the world, but by changing the way we hold it. And as you continue to breathe, see if you can rest in this understanding. Nothing needs to be held forever. Nothing can be held forever. And this is not something to fear. It is something to relax into. Because when nothing is fixed, everything is free to move. And when everything is free to move, life becomes lighter. Stay here for a few breaths, breathing in, aware of holding, breathing out, softening. Again and again. No rush, no pressure, just seeing clearly, just allowing gently. And in this seeing, the grip of the mind begins to loosen, naturally, quietly, on its own. Gently bring to mind someone you care about, not as a story, not as a role, just as a presence. Let their image arise softly. No need to make it clear. Just a feeling is enough. Notice how they appear in your awareness. A face, a voice, a sense of connection. Stay with that for a moment. And now, begin to see them more deeply. They have their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own way of seeing the world. Even if you know them well, there are parts of them you cannot fully see. Parts that change, parts that grow, parts that move in directions you cannot predict. Let this be felt. They are not fixed. They are not a single version. They are unfolding, just like you. Notice if there is any subtle expectation, a quiet wish for them to be a certain way, perhaps to understand you more, to behave differently, to stay close. Just notice, no judgment. And now, gently soften around that expectation. Let it loosen. You can walk beside someone without trying to walk for them. Feel the truth of this. Walking beside means presence, means care, means connection, but not control, not direction, not ownership. Each person walks with their own steps, at their own pace, on their own path. You may walk together for a while. You may share moments. You may support each other. But the path itself belongs to no one. And this can be felt not as distance, but as a kind of quiet respect, a recognition of life moving through each person in its own way. No one belongs to anyone completely, not even those we love the most. Let this land gently. It is not a loss. It is not separation. It is a deeper kind of connection, one that does not depend on holding. Each person is like a river, flowing, changing, finding its own direction. You may walk along the riverbank. You may touch the water. You may even step into it for a time, but you cannot stop its flow. And you do not need to, because the beauty of the river is in its movement. In the same way, the person you care about is alive, alive in their own unfolding, alive in ways you cannot fully control. And this is what makes the connection real. Notice what happens inside as you allow this. The grip begins to soften. The need to shape them begins to fade. And in its place, there is space, a gentle openness. This openness allows love to breathe, not tight, not demanding, not heavy, just present, just here. You may still care deeply. You may still feel close, but without the weight of needing them to be different, without the tension of holding them in place. Let your breath support this understanding. Breathing in, feeling the connection. Breathing out, allowing space. Again, breathing in, care. Breathing out, freedom. You are not separate from them, but you are not the same. Two lives intersecting, influencing, sharing, but not merging into one fixed identity. There is no solid boundary, and yet no ownership. This is the nature of relationship, flowing, interdependent, unfixed. And when we forget this, we try to hold, we try to shape, we try to make things stay. And in that effort, tension appears. But when we remember that each being is a movement, we begin to relax. We begin to trust. Trust that life knows how to move. Trust that growth happens in its own way. Trust that each person carries their own path, even when it is unclear, even when it is difficult. You do not need to walk it for them. You can be there. You can listen. You can support. But you do not need to control the outcome. Feel how this shifts something inside. A quiet release, a softening of responsibility, not abandoning, not withdrawing, but lightening, becoming more spacious, more gentle, more real. Let the image of this person remain, but now in a different way. Not something to hold, not something to shape. Just a presence, alive, changing, free. And you also free. Free to care. Free to love. Free to let go. Stay here for a few breaths. Breathing in, connection without holding. Breathing out, love without control. Again, soft, natural, open. And in this openness, something deeper is revealed. Love does not become less when you release control. It becomes clearer, lighter, wider, like space itself, able to hold everything without needing to grasp anything. Rest here gently. Let this understanding settle, not as words, but as a quiet feeling in the heart. Gently notice the movement of control, not outside, but inside. A quiet need to make things certain. a subtle urge to shape what will happen next. It may feel like care. It may feel like responsibility. But look deeper. Is there a sense of unease underneath? A feeling that something is not fully safe? A quiet tension that wants to secure an outcome? Control often grows from this place. Not because something is wrong, but because the heart does not feel steady. Take a moment to feel this gently. No judgment. No need to push it away. Just noticing. Control is not the problem. It is a signal that something inside is seeking ground, a sense of safety, a sense of stability. But notice, does controlling truly create safety? Or does it create more tension? When you try to hold everything in place, the body tightens, the breath becomes shallow, the mind becomes busy, and even then, life continues to move. Things still change. People still act in their own way. Outcomes still unfold beyond control. Feel this truth softly. Life cannot be fixed into place. It is not meant to be. And in seeing this, something begins to loosen. You do not need to know everything. You do not need to manage every outcome. There is another way, a quieter way. A way of allowing. Gently begin to soften the need to control. Not all at once, just a little. Let one expectation relax. Let one outcome be unknown, just for this moment. Feel what happens inside. There may be a slight opening, a small space where tension was before. Stay with that space. Let it expand naturally. Now bring in a simple image, a river, flowing, moving, never holding itself back. The river does not try to keep its water. It does not say, "This must stay." And yet, it is always full, always moving, always complete. Feel this image gently. Flow without holding, movement without fear. The river trusts its own nature. It does not need to know where each drop will go. It simply flows. And in that flowing, everything is included. Notice how different this feels. compared to holding, compared to controlling. The river is not tense. It is not rigid. It is responsive. It is alive. And you are not separate from this movement. Your breath flows. Your body changes. Your thoughts come and go. Everything in you is already part of this unfolding. So gently ask yourself, what if you did not need to control this moment? What if you allowed it to be just as it is? Feel the body, breathing in, allowing. Breathing out, releasing. Again, breathing in, trust. Breathing out, softening. Trust is not knowing the outcome. It is allowing life to move. Let these words settle quietly, not as something to believe, but as something to feel. Trust does not come from certainty. It comes from openness, from the willingness to stay present, even when things are unclear, even when the future is unknown. And in this openness, there is a different kind of strength. Not tight, not forceful, but steady, like a tree that bends with the wind. Not resisting, not breaking, just moving with what is. Notice how the body responds to this. The shoulders soften. The breath deepens. The heart feels less guarded. There is space again. You do not lose anything by letting go of control. You gain clarity. You gain ease. You gain the ability to meet life as it unfolds. Not through force, but through presence. Stay here for a few breaths. Breathing in, allowing the flow. Breathing out, releasing the grip. Again, softly, naturally. If the mind returns to control, that is okay. Just notice. And gently come back to allowing. Again and again. This is the practice, not perfection, but returning. Each moment of letting go restores balance. Each moment of trust opens space. And slowly, the habit of control begins to loosen. Not forced, not pushed, just understood. And in that understanding, it begins to dissolve. Gently turn back toward yourself, not as an idea, but as a direct feeling. Notice the one who has been holding, the one who has been trying to manage, to protect, to keep things in place. Feel into that part of you. There may be effort there, a quiet strain, a subtle tiredness. Holding for so long takes energy. Even when it is not seen clearly, even when it feels like care. Stay with this gently. You may begin to sense it in the body. A heaviness in the chest, a tightness in the shoulders, a quiet fatigue behind the eyes. Nothing is wrong. This is simply the result of holding for too long. Let yourself acknowledge this. I have been holding. No blame, no regret, just recognition. And with that recognition, something softens. Because now you see. And when you see clearly, you no longer need to push as hard. Gently allow yourself to feel the tiredness. Do not push it away. Do not cover it. Just let it be known. Like sitting beside someone who is exhausted. You do not tell them to do more. You simply allow them to rest. In the same way, allow yourself to rest. You do not need to hold everything together right now. You do not need to fix anything. Nothing is required of you in this moment. Let that be true. Feel how the body responds. Breathing in, receiving. Breathing out, releasing effort. Again, breathing in, aware. Breathing out, resting. There is nothing to prove, nothing to maintain. Just this simple presence. Suffering grows when we resist what is already here. Let this be felt quietly. When we resist tiredness, we become more tense. When we resist uncertainty, we become more anxious. When we resist change, we create more struggle. But when we allow, even just a little, something shifts. Not because the situation changes, but because the resistance softens. And when resistance softens, suffering begins to ease. You do not need to remove what is here. You only need to stop pushing against it. Stay with this understanding. Let it settle into the body. Like warm water soaking into dry ground, slowly, naturally. And now, allow everything to be exactly as it is. The body as it is. The breath as it is. The mind as it is. No adjustment, no improvement, just this. This is enough. Let yourself rest here. No effort to focus. No effort to concentrate. If awareness is here, that is enough. If thoughts come, they can come. If feelings arise, they can arise. Nothing needs to be stopped. Nothing needs to be continued. Just knowing. Just being aware. Awareness is already present. You do not need to create it. You only need to notice that it is here. Like space. Open, quiet, unmoving. Everything appears within it. Sensations, thoughts, sounds. They come. They stay for a moment. They pass. But awareness remains, unchanged. Rest here. not as someone doing something, but as awareness itself. No center to hold, no boundary to defend. Just openness. If a thought says, "I should be doing this better," notice it. Let it pass. If a feeling of restlessness appears, notice it. Let it be. There is nothing to fix. This is not a practice of becoming. It is a practice of recognizing what is already here. This knowing presence, quiet, simple, unforced. Stay here gently. Breathing continues. The body rests. The mind moves or becomes still. All of it is allowed. Nothing is outside this awareness, and awareness does not need to hold anything. It does not grasp. It does not resist. It simply knows. And in this knowing, there is a deep ease, not created, not constructed, just revealed, when nothing is being held. Let yourself sink into this. No effort, no direction, just resting, just aware. And in this resting, there is a quiet freedom, already here. And as you soften deeper, there is nothing new to learn, only something to remember. The body is still here. Breathing is still happening. Awareness is still present. Return gently to the body. Feel the weight again, the contact with the ground. Nothing has changed, and yet everything feels a little more open. Let your attention spread through the body, not focusing on one point, but sensing the whole. A field of sensation, alive, quiet, changing. Notice how the body breathes on its own. You are not doing it. It is simply happening. Breathing in, the body receives. Breathing out, the body releases. Stay with this simplicity. No need to go anywhere else. If the mind drifts, just return. Not sharply, not forcefully. Like a feather settling back onto the surface of water. Soft, effortless, again and again. Each return is gentle. Each return is enough. As you rest here, notice how the mind may still try to move, to think, to plan, to remember. Let it move. You do not need to stop it. You only need to see it. Thoughts appear like ripples on water. They rise, they spread, they fade. You are not the ripples. You are the space in which they appear. Open, unfixed. Notice this. Even if a thought stays for a while, it is still changing, shifting, moving. Nothing inside is still. Nothing inside is solid. This is the nature of experience. Flowing, unstable, alive. And because it is unstable, it cannot be held. Feel this truth again, not as an idea, but as something you can sense. Holding is not needed. Holding is not possible. Everything is already moving. Let this understanding soften the mind. There is no need to manage every thought. No need to fix every feeling. Just allow them to arise and pass, as clouds pass through the sky. The sky does not chase them. It does not resist them. It simply remains open. In the same way, you can remain open. Thoughts come. Thoughts go. Feelings come. Feelings go. Sensations come. Sensations go. But awareness remains quiet, unchanging. Rest in this awareness, not as something to hold on to, but as something already here. No effort required, no technique needed, just knowing, just being present. As you stay here, notice if there is any subtle effort, a small attempt to stay focused, a quiet tension to keep the mind still. Gently release that too. This is not about control. This is about allowing. Allowing the body to rest. Allowing the breath to flow. Allowing the mind to move. And allowing awareness to know all of it, without preference, without resistance. This is balance, not something you create, something that appears when interference fades. Feel how the body responds to this, even softer now, even lighter. The breath may feel more spacious, the chest more open, the face more relaxed. Nothing forced, just a natural settling. Stay with this settling. Let it deepen on its own, like a lake becoming still after the wind has passed. No need to calm the water. Just stop stirring it, and it becomes clear. In the same way, when you stop interfering, the mind becomes clear. Not perfectly silent, but naturally at ease. Notice this ease, subtle, gentle, already present, not something to reach, something to recognize. And as you recognize it, it becomes more familiar, more stable. Not because you hold it, but because you stop disturbing it. Stay here, resting, breathing, knowing. Nothing missing, nothing extra. Just this moment, unfolding quietly. As the body settles, the need to control begins to fade. Stay with this feeling. The body is not separate. It is part of the same movement as everything else. Like the earth beneath you, steady, receiving, supporting. Feel the weight of your body again. Not heavy in a burdened way, but grounded, connected. The body belongs to this moment, just as the air belongs to the sky. Breathing continues, like a gentle wind passing through open space. It does not ask permission. It does not wait for instruction. It moves naturally. Let the breath be like that, unforced, unmanaged, simply happening. And within the body, notice the quiet rhythm of the heart, pulsing, flowing, like a soft current moving through water. You are not creating this rhythm. It is already alive, already unfolding. The body knows how to return when we stop interfering. Let these words be felt, not analyzed. There is an intelligence in the body, not something you need to control, something you can trust. Each system, each movement, adjusting on its own, balancing, responding without effort. Notice how the body finds comfort. A slight shift, a subtle release, a natural adjustment you did not plan. This is the body returning, returning to ease, returning to balance. Not through force, but through allowing. Stay with this allowing. As you breathe, feel how the body expands and softens at the same time. Receiving and releasing. Nothing held, nothing forced to stay. Everything moving. Just like nature. The wind does not hold itself. The river does not stop its flow. The clouds do not resist their change. And in the same way, the body does not need to be fixed. It is already in motion, already changing, already alive. Let yourself feel this more clearly. You are not outside of this movement. You are part of it. The same elements, the same rhythms, the same flow. Breathing in, connected. Breathing out, released. Again, breathing in, part of everything. Breathing out, nothing separate. Stay with this sense of connection. No boundary to defend. No solid line between you and the world. Just a continuous exchange. Air enters, air leaves. Sensations arise, sensations fade. Nothing stays fixed. And because nothing stays, there is nothing to control. Feel how this softens the mind. The urge to manage, to direct, to fix begins to quiet. Not because you stopped it forcefully, but because you see more clearly. Control is not needed. The body is already doing what it needs to do. Life is already moving as it does. You can rest within this movement, like lying on the earth, supported without effort. Let the body be heavy where it is heavy. Let it be light where it is light. No adjustment needed. If there is discomfort, let it be part of the field. If there is ease, let it be part of the field. Everything is included, nothing rejected. This is balance. Not perfect, not fixed, but open, responsive, alive. As you remain here, notice how the breath and the body move together, not separate. One continuous rhythm. And within that rhythm, awareness is quietly present. Not controlling, not directing, just knowing. This knowing does not interfere. It does not try to change the flow. It simply allows the flow to be seen. And in that seeing, there is clarity, a quiet understanding. The more you allow, the more the body returns, the more the mind settles, the more ease appears. Not as something created, but as something uncovered, always there, just hidden by effort. Stay with this uncovering. No need to go deeper, no need to reach further. Just here. Just this body, part of nature. Just this breath, moving freely. Just this moment, complete as it is. And as you continue resting, let the body guide you. Let the breath guide you. No need to take the lead. Just follow gently. And in this gentle following, control continues to fade, and something softer, more open, more natural begins to take its place. And when we stop holding the breath, we begin to see how we have been holding everything else. Stay here for a moment. Feel the breath as it comes. Feel the breath as it goes. No need to keep it, no need to shape it. It arrives and it leaves on its own. Notice how natural this is. Nothing is forced. Nothing is controlled. And yet, the breath continues. Life continues. In the same way, everything else is moving. Moments appear and fade. Experiences arise and dissolve. People come into our lives and change. Nothing stands still. Nothing can be held in place. Let this be felt through the breath. Breathing in, appearing. Breathing out, disappearing. Again, appearing, disappearing, like waves on the ocean. They rise, they reach the shore, they dissolve back into the sea. No wave stays, no wave can be kept. And yet, the ocean is never lacking. Feel this image gently. Movement without loss. Change without emptiness. The breath is the same. Each breath is new, not a continuation of the last, not something repeated. Fresh, unpredictable, and gone. Notice how the mind may try to hold, to make the breath smoother, longer, more controlled. Gently let that go. The breath does not need to be improved. It only needs to be seen as it is. If it is shallow, let it be shallow. If it is deep, let it be deep. If it is uneven, let it be uneven. Nothing is wrong. Everything is moving. This is the nature of impermanence. Not something distant, something happening now, in each breath, in each moment. And when you see this clearly, something shifts inside. The need to hold begins to soften because you realize there is nothing to hold. Holding the breath creates tension. Holding life creates the same tension. The body tightens, the mind contracts, and this contraction is felt as discomfort, as unease, as suffering. But when the breath is allowed just as it is, there is ease, there is space, there is a quiet balance. Let the breath show you this. Breathing in, nothing is added. Breathing out, nothing is taken away. Just movement, just flow. Stay with this flow. If a thought appears, notice it. Like a wave, it rises, it lingers, it fades. No need to follow. Return to the breath, again and again, not as a task, as a gentle returning, like coming back to the shore after drifting. Soft, unhurried. Each return is a reminder. Everything changes. Nothing stays. Nothing needs to stay. Feel how this understanding begins to settle in the body. Less effort, less resistance, more space, more openness. The breath continues without your control, and yet it supports life completely. In the same way, life unfolds without needing to be held together. Notice how this feels. A quiet release, a soft letting go. Not dramatic, just a subtle shift. From holding to allowing, from controlling to trusting. Stay with this shift. Breathing in, allowing life to come. Breathing out, allowing life to go. Again, simple, natural, nothing to fix, nothing to manage. Just this breath, coming and going. Just this moment, appearing and fading, and you aware of it all, not holding, not resisting, just present. And in this presence, there is a quiet freedom, already here. And when nothing inside is fixed, there is nothing to protect. Stay here gently. Let the mind be just as it is. Thoughts may appear. Images may form. Words may arise. Do not follow them. Do not push them away. Just notice. A thought comes, and it is known. A thought fades, and it is gone. Nothing needs to be done. You are not required to solve anything. Just seeing is enough. If a feeling arises, let it be felt. A sense of warmth, a sense of heaviness, a quiet restlessness. Let it be there. No need to name it. No need to explain it. Just feeling, just knowing. Like watching clouds move across the sky. Some are light, some are heavy, some move quickly, some stay for a while, but none of them stay forever. And the sky remains open, unchanged. Let your awareness be like that sky. Open, spacious, not holding anything, not rejecting anything. Thoughts are like clouds. They form from conditions. They shift. They dissolve. You do not create them fully. You do not control them completely. They arise and pass. In the same way, emotions move. They come with a sensation. They stay for a while. They fade. Even strong emotions change. They are not fixed. Nothing inside you is permanent. Let this be seen clearly. Not through thinking, but through direct observation. Right now. A thought is here, and then it is not. A feeling is here, and then it shifts. Nothing holds its shape. Nothing remains the same. And because nothing is permanent, there is nothing that defines you completely. You are not the thoughts. You are not the emotions. They pass through you, like wind through an open field. Feel this openness. No need to hold on to any identity. No need to defend any state. Everything is already changing. And in this constant change, there is freedom. Freedom from needing to fix yourself. Freedom from needing to become something else. Freedom from holding on to what is not stable. Notice how the body responds to this understanding. The face softens. The shoulders drop. The breath deepens. There is less pressure, less effort to maintain something inside. Stay with the flow of the mind. Thoughts come and go. Feelings rise and fall. Awareness remains. Quiet. Clear. Uninvolved. You do not need to step into every thought. You do not need to believe every feeling. You can simply watch. Like sitting by a river, the water flows, leaves pass by, reflections move, but you remain on the shore. You do not need to jump in. You do not need to catch anything. Just watching, just knowing. And in this watching, there is a gentle distance, not separation, but clarity, a space where experience can move freely, without being held, without being resisted. If a thought pulls your attention, notice it kindly and return. Return to knowing. Return to awareness. Again and again. Not as a correction, as a gentle remembering. This is mindfulness, not control, not suppression, just seeing clearly. And as you continue, notice how the mind begins to quiet on its own. Not forced into silence, but settling. Like a lake when the wind calms, the surface becomes still, reflections become clear. Not because you changed the water, but because you stopped disturbing it. In the same way, when you stop interfering with the mind, it becomes clear, naturally, effortlessly. Stay here. Thoughts may still come. Feelings may still move. That is okay. Clarity does not mean absence. It means understanding. Understanding that everything inside is changing. Understanding that nothing needs to be held. Understanding that awareness is already enough. Rest in this understanding. No need to deepen it. No need to improve it. Just let it be. Just let everything be. And in this allowing, there is a quiet peace. Not created, not achieved. Already here. And so, we begin to soften the grip just a little. Keep the image of this person gently in your awareness. Not too close, not too detailed. Just a quiet presence. See them as they are, a living, changing being. Not fixed, not defined. Their thoughts are their own. Their feelings are their own. Their path is unfolding moment by moment, just like yours. Notice how they breathe. In your imagination, see the rise and fall of their chest. Each breath different, each moment new. They are changing, even now, just as you are. Let this be seen clearly. No one stays the same, not in body, not in mind, not in feeling. Everything moves, everything transforms. And when we expect someone to remain as we remember, a quiet tension begins to form. A subtle resistance. A wish for something to stay. But nothing stays. Not because something is wrong, because this is the nature of life, changing, flowing, unfixed. Let yourself feel this truth gently. No need to agree. No need to force acceptance. Just notice. This person has their own experiences, their own struggles, their own joys. things you may never fully know, just like you. Two lives moving side by side, not merging into one, not controlled by one another, but meeting, touching, sharing moments, and then changing again. See if you can feel this relationship without tightening around it, without trying to define it, just letting it be what it is, alive, changing. If a sense of holding appears, notice it. A wish for them to act a certain way. A wish for them to stay the same. Just notice. Do not push it away. This too is part of the human heart. The desire to hold. The desire to keep what feels meaningful. There is tenderness in that. There is care in that. Acknowledge it gently, and then soften around it. Holding tightly creates tension in the body, in the mind, in the relationship itself. But when the grip softens, something opens. Space appears. Breathing becomes easier. Love becomes lighter, less burdened, more free. Let this softening happen slowly. No need to force release. Just loosening. Just a little. Like opening your hand instead of closing it. The connection does not disappear. It becomes more natural, more alive, because it is no longer restricted. Stay with the image. See them moving through their life, making choices, learning, changing, just as you are. Two separate streams flowing through the same vast landscape, sometimes close, sometimes distant, but always moving. Feel into this image. No need to hold the stream, no need to direct it. Just watching it flow. And as you watch, notice what happens inside you. There may be a quiet release, a softening in the chest, a lightness in the breath. Let that be there. This is not detachment in a cold way. This is clarity, seeing things as they are, without adding tension, without creating resistance. You can still care. You can still feel warmth. You can still wish them well. But without needing to shape their path, without needing them to match your expectations. This is a different kind of love, a love that does not bind, a love that allows, a love that trusts. Stay with this feeling. Let it deepen naturally, not as an idea, but as a direct experience. The grip softens. The heart remains open. Nothing is lost. Only tension is released. And in that release, there is peace, quiet, simple, already here. And in that opening, something inside also becomes lighter. Stay with the image of your hand, at first gently closed, not tight, but holding. Feel what it is like to hold. A subtle effort, a quiet contraction. Now, slowly begin to soften the fingers, not all at once, just a small release. A little space appears. The hand is still there, but the tension is less. Stay here for a moment. Feel the difference, holding and softening. Again, slowly open a little more. The palm begins to widen. The fingers uncurl. Nothing forced. Just allowing the hand to return to its natural state. Open. Resting. Now imagine something resting in your hand. Very light. A small bird. Quiet, gentle. You can feel its presence, its warmth, its small movements. At first, the hand may want to close around it, to keep it safe, to make sure it does not leave. Notice that impulse, that instinct to hold. It comes from care. It comes from fear of losing. Just notice it. No judgment. And now, let the hand remain open, soft. The bird is still there. Not because it is being held, but because it chooses to rest. Feel the difference. There is no tension, no force, just a shared moment. Alive, free. And then, gently, the bird begins to move. A small shift, a light flutter. It prepares to leave. Notice what arises inside you. A small tightening, a wish for it to stay. Let that be seen. Let it be felt. And then allow the hand to remain open, not closing, not grasping, just open. The bird lifts, rises, and flies up into the open sky, gone from the hand, but not lost, simply moving on, as all things do. Stay with this moment. The hand is now empty, open, light. There is space where something once rested. Notice how this feels. There may be a sense of absence, or a sense of ease, a quiet lightness, because nothing is being held, nothing is being resisted. Letting go is not losing. It is allowing life to move. Feel this truth gently. The bird was never yours to keep. It came, it stayed, it left. Just like moments, just like people, just like experiences. Nothing was meant to stay forever, not as a punishment, but as a natural unfolding. Everything moves, everything changes. everything returns to the flow. And when you allow this movement, you are no longer in conflict with life. You are moving with it. Feel your hand again. Open, at rest. No tension in the fingers. No need to close. This openness is not emptiness in a negative sense. It is space. A space where things can come and go without struggle, without resistance. And within this space, there is a quiet peace, because nothing is being forced to stay. Nothing is being pushed away. Just openness, just allowing. Notice how this openness can be felt in the body. The chest may feel wider. The breath may feel easier. The shoulders may drop slightly. A natural release. Stay with this. Let the body learn this feeling. Let the mind recognize it. This is what happens when the grip softens. Life continues. Nothing essential is lost. Only tension fades. Only resistance dissolves. And in that dissolving, there is a quiet freedom. Not created, not achieved, simply revealed. When the hand opens. And in this space, life feels more open, more gentle. Stay here for a moment. Feel the body now. The shoulders lighter. The chest more open. The breath deeper without trying. Nothing was added. Nothing was improved. Only something was released. And with that release, the natural balance returns. Notice this carefully. When there is no holding, the body does not need to struggle. When there is no controlling, the breath does not need to force itself. When there is no grasping, the mind does not need to tighten. Everything begins to align on its own. freedom is not far away. It appears the moment holding stops. Let this be felt directly, not as an idea, as an experience, right now. No holding, just this breath, just this body, just this awareness. And within this, there is already a quiet ease, a natural openness. Nothing extra is needed. Notice if the mind tries to reach for something, a better state, a deeper calm, a clearer silence. Gently see that movement and let it go. Even the desire to improve can be released, because this moment is already complete. There is no self that needs to own anything. Let these words settle slowly. The sense of I that tries to hold, to control, to protect is also something that appears. It arises. It stays for a moment. It fades, just like a thought, just like a feeling. It is not fixed. It is not solid. It is part of the flow. See this gently. There is holding, but no fixed holder. There is tension, but no permanent one who owns it. There is release, but no one who needs to claim it. Everything is happening within awareness, and awareness itself does not hold anything. It does not say mine. It does not say me. It simply knows. Open, silent, unattached. Rest here. No need to understand deeply. Just allow the possibility that nothing needs to be owned. Nothing needs to be kept. Nothing needs to be protected. And in that, there is a great lightness, a freedom that is not created, but revealed. Stay with the body again. Feel the simplicity of being here. Breathing, sensing, aware. a story. No need to define who you are in this moment. Just this. Just presence. Just awareness of what is happening. And now, gently let everything be exactly as it is. No correction. No direction. Just resting. Just breathing. Just aware. Nothing to fix. Nothing to become. Everything is already moving as it should. Stay here. Thoughts may still come. Let them come. Feelings may still arise. Let them arise. Sounds may appear. Let them be heard. Nothing needs to be removed. Nothing needs to be continued. Everything is allowed. And within this allowing, there is peace. Not a dramatic peace, a quiet one, simple, unnoticeable at first, but steady, like a soft background, always here. Rest in that background. Awareness itself. Not focused on any one thing. Not attached to any object. Just open. If attention narrows, let it narrow. If attention expands, let it expand. No need to control even that. Everything is part of the flow. Everything belongs. Stay with this openness. Nothing to hold. Nothing to reject. Just knowing. Just being. As you rest, you may notice subtle movements. A thought forming. A sensation shifting. A feeling appearing and fading. Let them all pass through, like wind moving through a wide field. Nothing catches, nothing stays. And because nothing stays, there is no burden, no accumulation, just continuous movement, fresh, alive, unfixed. Let this understanding deepen without effort, not as something you repeat, as something you see again and again, each moment new, each breath new, each experience new. Nothing repeats exactly. Nothing remains exactly. This is the nature of life. And when this is seen clearly, the need to hold softens completely, because holding no longer makes sense. It is like trying to hold water in an open hand. It slips through, not because you failed, because it cannot be held. And when you stop trying, there is ease. The hand relaxes, the body softens, the mind opens. Stay with this ease. No need to make it stronger. No need to keep it. Just let it be. If it fades, that is okay. If it deepens, that is okay. Everything is allowed. Everything is part of the same movement, and awareness remains unchanged, always here, always open. Rest as this awareness, not as someone trying to be aware, but as awareness itself. Simple, effortless, already present. Stay here quietly. Breathing continues. The body rests. The mind moves or becomes still. Everything unfolds on its own, and you do not need to do anything. Just resting. Just breathing. Just aware. This is enough. This has always been enough. And in this quiet recognition, there is a gentle freedom. A freedom that does not depend on conditions. A a freedom that does not need to be protected, because there is nothing to hold, and no one who needs to hold it. Stay here a little longer. Let everything be simple. Let everything be natural. Let everything be as it is. And rest in this open, quiet knowing. And instead of going somewhere, we gently dissolve into what is already here. No movement is needed. No direction is required. Just a soft settling into this moment. Feel how simple this is. Nothing to reach for, nothing to become. The body is already here. The breath is already here. Awareness is already here. Nothing is missing. Let that be real for a moment. The mind may still search for something deeper, something better, something more peaceful. Notice that movement, a quiet reaching, and gently let it rest. There is nowhere else to go. Everything you are looking for is not somewhere else. It is in the stopping, in the not searching, in the not becoming. Stay with this. Feel how the body responds when searching softens. The forehead relaxes. The eyes soften. The jaw loosens. The breath becomes natural again, no longer pulled by effort, just moving. Let the breath come and go. No need to follow it closely. No need to anchor tightly. Just knowing it is there, like a quiet background, always present. As you rest, notice how awareness does not need to do anything. It does not chase experience. It does not hold experience. It simply knows. Open. Effortless. And within this openness, everything is allowed. Thoughts may come. Let them come. Feelings may arise. Let them arise. Nothing interrupts this awareness. Nothing disturbs it. Because awareness does not resist. It does not cling. It does not divide. It simply includes. Everything appears within it. Everything disappears within it. But it remains unchanged. Rest here, not as someone trying to stay present, but as presence itself. No effort to maintain it. No fear of losing it. Because it is not something you create. It is what you are, before effort, before thought, before identity. Just this simple knowing. Let yourself dissolve into this knowing, like a drop of water returning to the ocean. No boundary, no separation. Just one continuous field. Feel the body again. It is still here, but lighter, less defined, more open. Not a solid object, but a flow of sensations, appearing, shifting, fading. The breath moves through it. The heart beats within it. Everything changing. Nothing fixed. And yet, there is no need to hold it together. It is already held by life itself. Stay with this sense of being supported, not by effort, but by the nature of things. Gravity holds the body. Breath sustains life. Awareness knows experience. Everything is functioning without needing control. Let this be trusted, even if only a little. Trust does not need certainty. It only needs openness, an openness to not knowing, an openness to not controlling, an openness to letting things be. And in that openness, there is ease, a quiet, stable ease, not dependent on conditions, not dependent on thoughts being calm, just present, right here, right now. Stay with this simplicity. No need to deepen it. No need to hold on to it. Even this sense of ease can come and go. That is okay. Nothing needs to stay. Nothing needs to be preserved. Everything is allowed to move. And in allowing everything to move, you are no longer in conflict with life. You are part of its flow, effortless, natural, complete. Notice again, nothing is missing right now, even if the mind says otherwise. Even if there are thoughts of lack, those thoughts are also part of the moment. They too appear and pass. They do not define the whole. They do not define you. Stay with what is directly here. Breathing, sensing, knowing. This is enough. This has always been enough. Not because everything is perfect, but because nothing is outside this moment. Everything needed for this moment is already present. Let that understanding settle deeply, not as belief, as direct seeing, again and again, moment by moment. Nothing missing, nothing extra. Just this unfolding quietly, and you resting within it. As the sense of me softens, there is more space, more ease. Stay with this softness. Feel the edges of the body. Where do they begin? Where do they end? Notice how unclear it becomes. Sensation is here, and then it fades. Another sensation appears, and then it shifts. Nothing holds a clear line. Nothing stays in one place. The body is not a solid shape. It is a field. A field of changing sensations. Warmth, coolness, pressure, lightness, all appearing, all dissolving. Let the idea of a fixed body soften. Not something you need to push away. Just something that becomes less certain, like mist in the early morning. At first, it seems to have form, but as you look more closely, it spreads, it thins, it becomes open. The body can be felt in the same way, not as a solid object, but as a gentle presence, floating, expanding, blending with the space around it. Feel how the air touches the skin, or perhaps how there is no clear separation between air and sensation. Just contact. Just experience. And even that is changing. Let yourself rest in this openness. No need to define the body. No need to locate yourself precisely. Just sensing. Just being. The breath moves through this field, not inside a solid container, but through openness, like wind moving through a wide valley. No boundary stops it. No wall contains it. Just movement. Just flow. Notice how the body breathes, and the space around it feels connected, not separate. The body rises. The space receives. The body falls. The space remains. All part of one continuous field. Let this be felt gently. No need to make it clear. Just allowing the sense of separation to soften. There is no solid center. Look for it. Where is the exact point that is you? In the head? In the chest? In the breath? Each place you look, there are only sensations. Changing, unstable. No fixed point can be found. And if there is no fixed point, there is no solid center. Just experience, arising and passing. Let this be simple. No need to analyze. just seen, just noticing. And as this is seen, the sense of me begins to loosen, not disappearing suddenly, just becoming softer, less tight, less defined, like a knot slowly loosening, thread by thread, without force, without effort. Feel what happens in the body when this softening occurs. The chest opens. The breath becomes lighter. The face relaxes. There is less tension because there is less to hold, less to protect, less to defend. Stay with this ease. Let it spread naturally from the head to the shoulders, to the chest, to the belly, to the legs. A gentle wave of softness. Nothing pushed, nothing held. Just relaxing into what is already here. The body like a cloud. Not fixed, not solid. Shifting with the wind. Appearing and dissolving. Moment by moment. Let this image deepen. You do not need to keep the shape of the cloud. You do not need to define its edges. It changes on its own. And still, it exists. In the same way, you do not need to hold a fixed sense of self. Experience continues. Life continues. Without needing a solid center. Without needing a fixed identity. Just unfolding. Just happening. Notice how this brings a quiet relief. A release from needing to be something specific. A release from needing to maintain a certain image. A release from needing to hold everything together. Let this relief be felt, even if it is subtle. even if it is new. Just a small opening. That is enough. Stay with the openness of space. Not empty in a cold way, but open in a gentle way. Welcoming, allowing everything. The body appears within this space. The breath appears within this space. Thoughts appear within this space. Feelings appear within this space. All of it within openness. Nothing outside. Nothing separate. And awareness is not confined to a point. It is not located in one place. It is simply present. Everywhere experience appears. Let yourself rest as this presence. Not inside the body. Not outside the body. Just here. Without boundary. Without edge. No fixed boundary. Look for it gently. Where does awareness stop? Where does it end? No clear line can be found. Just openness. Just knowing. Stay here. No need to hold this understanding. No need to remember it. Just experiencing it now, directly, simply. If the sense of self returns strongly, that is okay. Let it be there. It is also part of the flow. It too appears and fades. Nothing needs to be removed. Nothing needs to be held. Everything is included. Everything is allowed. And in this allowing, there is a deep ease, a quiet stillness. Not because things have stopped, but because there is no resistance. Stay with this stillness. Let it deepen on its own. No effort, no direction. Just resting. Just aware. The body like mist. The breath like wind. The mind like passing clouds. and awareness like open sky, unmoving, unbounded, always here. Rest as this. Nothing to become, nothing to hold, nothing to define. Just this open presence, quietly aware of itself. And in this openness, there is freedom, already here. And just like the breath, everything else flows the same way. Stay with this understanding. The breath comes without asking. The breath goes without waiting. It does not belong to anyone. It is simply happening. Feel this directly. Breathing in, appearing. Breathing out, disappearing. No ownership. No control needed. Just movement. Just life expressing itself. Notice how natural this is. No effort is required for the breath to continue. Even when you are not paying attention, it moves. Even when you are asleep, it continues. Life is breathing itself. Let this be felt gently, not as a concept, as something real, happening now. And just like the breath, thoughts arise. Not because you command them, but because conditions come together. A memory appears. An image forms. A sentence unfolds. Then it fades, just like a breath. Feelings move in the same way. A sensation grows. A mood shifts. An emotion passes through. Then it changes. Nothing stays. Nothing belongs. Everything flows, like wind passing through an open field. It touches, but does not remain. It moves without leaving a fixed trace. Let the breath be your guide, breathing in, receiving without holding, breathing out, releasing without effort, again, receiving, releasing. No ownership in either. No need to say, "This is mine," because it cannot be kept. Each breath appears and disappears, like everything else in life. Let this truth settle in quietly, not as something to accept, as something to observe. Right here, this breath already gone. This next breath already new. Nothing repeats exactly. Nothing remains unchanged. And when this is seen, the need to control begins to soften. Because control is not needed. Life is already moving. Breathing is already happening. Experience is already unfolding. Feel how this softens the body. Less effort, less tension. The shoulders drop. The jaw relaxes. The breath deepens naturally. Not because you made it happen, because you stopped interfering. Stay with this simplicity. Breathing happens. Knowing happens. Everything else follows. If a thought arises, notice it, like a breath. It comes and it goes. No need to claim it. No need to follow it. Just knowing. If a feeling appears, let it move, like wind across grass, touching and passing. Nothing to hold, nothing to stop. Everything allowed. This is a different way of being. Not controlling life. Not resisting life. But allowing life to move. Just as it already does. Stay with this allowing. Let the breath continue on its own. Let awareness remain open. Let everything flow. And in this flowing, there is a quiet freedom. Not owned, not created, simply present when nothing is held. And when we stop trying to stop change, something relaxes deeply. Stay with this feeling. Notice how everything is already moving. A sensation in the body shifts. A thought appears, then fades. A feeling rises, then softens. Nothing holds its shape for long. Even what feels strong changes. Even what feels certain moves. Gently see this, not with effort, just by noticing. The breath changes. The body changes. The mind changes. Everything is in motion. Like leaves falling from a tree. One by one, without resistance. Like clouds drifting across the sky. Forming, dissolving, never staying. Like waves touching the shore, rising, breaking, returning to the sea. What changes cannot be held. Let this be simple. No need to agree. Just see. Holding is not needed. Holding is not possible. Even when we try, things continue to change. Even when we resist, change continues. Let the body feel this truth. A quiet softening. A gentle release. Because there is nothing to stop. Nothing to freeze. Nothing to keep exactly as it is. Stay here. Breathing, changing. Sensing, changing. Knowing, changing. Everything flowing. And within this flow, there is a quiet ease. Because nothing needs to be held in place. Nothing needs to be secured. Just this moment, appearing and passing naturally. And in that kind of love, there is no fear. Stay with this feeling. Gently bring that person into awareness again. Not as a story, just a presence, a living being, changing moment by moment. See them as they are, not as you wish them to be, not as they once were. Just as they are now. And allow that to be enough. No need to adjust them. No need to guide them. No need to hold them in a certain shape. Just letting them exist. Freely, naturally. Notice what happens in the heart. When expectation softens, something opens. A quiet warmth, a gentle acceptance. Not forced, just present. Love does not need control. Love does not need to shape. Feel this truth. Control brings tension. Shaping brings pressure. But allowing brings ease. Let the image of light appear. Soft light, spreading in all directions. It does not choose where to shine. It does not hold what it touches. It simply illuminates. Warm, open, unconditional. Let your awareness be like that light, touching this person gently, without holding, without demanding, just presence, just care, without condition. When there is no self to defend, love becomes natural. No need to protect an identity. No need to prove anything. No need to be right. Just openness. Just connection. Without tension. Feel how this kind of love is lighter. It does not weigh down the heart. It does not create fear of loss, because it is not based on holding. It is based on allowing. Stay here. Let the heart rest in this openness. No need to make it stronger. No need to hold on to it. Just letting it be. And as it is, there is peace. Simple, quiet, already here. When even the holder disappears, what remains is just openness. Stay with this gently. Notice the sense of I that has been trying to hold, trying to release, trying to do this practice well. See it clearly. This sense of I also appears, like a thought, like a feeling. It comes and it goes. It is not fixed. It is not solid. The one who was holding was never fixed. Let this be seen without effort. No need to push it away. No need to understand completely. Just noticing. A sense of me arises, and then it softens. Another sense of me appears, slightly different, always changing, never stable, just like everything else. Let the roles you carry gently loosen. The one who must do well, the one who must be strong, the one who must get it right. For this moment, none of that is needed. There is nothing to prove, no identity to maintain. You do not need to be anyone in particular. Not here, not now. Just awareness. Just presence. Simple. Open. Let the image of water appear. A still surface. Calm. Clear. Whatever comes is reflected. A cloud passes. It is seen. A bird flies by. It is seen. Then it is gone. The water does not hold the image. It does not keep anything. It does not resist anything. It simply reflects and remains clear. Feel your awareness like this water. Thoughts appear and are reflected. Feelings arise and are reflected. The sense of I appears and is reflected. Nothing is held. Nothing is kept. Everything comes and goes, and the clarity remains. Stay here. No need to identify with anything that appears. No need to say, This is me. Just seeing, just knowing. And in this knowing, there is no burden, no need to carry a self, no need to maintain an image. Just openness, quiet, spacious, free. And in this openness, life can move freely again. Stay here for a moment. Nothing needs to be done. Freedom is not something you create. It is not something you build over time. It is what remains when nothing is held. Feel this quietly. When there is no holding, there is no pressure. When there is no clinging, there is no fear of losing. When there is no resisting, there is no struggle. Just space. Just ease. Just this moment, moving as it is. Let yourself rest in that. No need to hold on to this feeling. No need to remember it. Even this can come and go. And that is okay. Because what has been seen does not need to be kept. It simply becomes part of how you see. Gently now, begin to feel the body again. The weight, the contact with the ground, the natural rhythm of breathing. No rush to move. No need to leave this space quickly. Just noticing, just returning. If the eyes are closed, you may gently soften them open. Let light come in slowly. Shapes, colors, space around you. Everything appearing fresh, not different from before, but seen with less holding. Let the body take its time. Small movements, fingers, toes. A gentle stretch if needed. not to leave the stillness, but to carry it with you. Because this quiet openness is not limited to stillness. It can move with you. In walking, in speaking, in living, not something to maintain, something to remember. By returning again and again, a breath, a moment of noticing, a soft release. That is enough. And as you continue your day, life will move, people will speak, situations will unfold, emotions may arise, and in the middle of it all, you can pause, even for a moment, and feel. Nothing needs to be held. Nothing needs to be resisted. Just this moment, alive, changing, free. And in that simple recognition, there is a quiet freedom always available.